If you still feel like your business has to be hard or that you have to hustle and grind to create that life you want, you're going to want to tune into this episode because today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of the biggest and most common mistakes business owners make and how to realign for more happiness and bigger success. So let me set the stage and first share with you one of the most foundational pieces to what I teach and how I personally operate in my businesses. Each and every one of us have what I call a natural blueprint. This blueprint holds information about our strengths, our weaknesses, our preferred communication styles, the ways that we work best. Now, the blueprint is one of those keys that we need to be able to find in order to really experience fulfillment in what we do, and in order to help us be more productive and more effective in our businesses. When you're working in alignment with your blueprint, you feel energized. You're working with clients that you love. You're creating time for the things that matter, and you're excited about what you do. But when you're not, you're feeling stressed and frustrated. You're working from limiting beliefs, and you have a tendency to feel exhausted. You might be surviving, but you're definitely not thriving. And so today we're going to look at the 3 mistakes you might be making so that you can start to realign how you show up in your business. All right. Mistake number 1 is chasing strategies. Now, when you're new to your business, it's natural for us to want to look around and see what other people are doing, right? Maybe you're looking for guidance on how to generate leads or the best way to convert them. Maybe you're looking for success clues or noticing what other people do a little bit differently or the same as you. And all of this is natural and normal, but it's important for you to see the traps that they are so that you don't fall into them. Now, let me explain. When I work with people, one of the first things I do is ask them about their business. And more often than not, they'll share with me things like all the things that they tried that didn't work for them. I'll hear things like, I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then I tried this, but that didn't work. So then I tried, and eventually they get to the final closing statement, which is, but nothing is working. Now, when I get a little bit deeper with them, it usually becomes really clear that it has nothing to do with the actual strategies. I mean, we know that they work, right? Because we can see other people doing them. The problem is they're not working for you. Now, chasing strategies is not only energy wasting, it's not consistent enough to see those results that you need. Now, it's not about sticking with it and buckling down and pushing through. It's about whether or not this strategy is a good fit for you. Things will work some of the time if you apply enough force to it, but things are going to work the majority of the time when you're clear about your blueprint and you start to align with what you do and how you know you work best. So, chasing strategies is mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is not being authentic. Now, one of the things we want to know from others is how do they do it, right? Think about how curious you are about whether your colleagues are doing something a little bit differently, right? Like, what are they doing in their business? You want to know what they say, how they say it. And in my real estate world, one of the first things that they teach you is how to adopt scripts and dialogues. Now, it's all about what you should say when you first introduce yourself, and then say it like this when you want to impose doubt, and then ask these questions when you want to deflect. And don't get me wrong, I think knowing how to effectively communicate and how to move people through a journey in your conversations is absolutely important. But here's the mistake. You end up trying to say things the way other people say them, and that doesn't match your style. It's going to show. It's going to not only sound, scripted and salesy, you're not going to be seen as authentic. Now, how you persuade and influence people should be aligned with who you are. This is why I love using DISC assessments as one of those tools to really help to identify your blueprint, because it helps you to see your preferred communication style. Where are your strengths? What part of the conversation is something that just lights you up and comes naturally to you? It also helps you to understand the ways that your clients best communicate. So seek to understand the intention behind the scripts and the dialogues. Don't try to emulate how somebody else says them. So mistake number 3 is hustle and grind. Mistake number 3 has everything to do with whether or not you're idealizing the hustle and grind culture. Now, I believe working hard is important. In fact, I don't know many people, including myself, who've been able to build successful businesses that didn't put the work in to get there. But the interesting thing is that when you strive towards this hustle and grind ideal, what you're forgetting about is whether or not you have the energy to sustain your actions. What good is success if you aren't healthy and well enough to enjoy it? And it is a big issue for many industries. I once asked a group of agents how they know if they're working hard. And here's what a few of those responses were. One agent said, "Well, when I'm physically and mentally worn out and I lose sleep over client transactions." Another agent said, "When I'm overly emotionally invested in my clients. I know I'm working hard when my days are long and I haven't had a day off in 2 months." Another one said it was skipping meals, gaining weight, staying up all night, missing out on things. Do you hear how crazy this sounds? Guys, this is not what your life should look like. And if that is what's true for you, then it's a sign that you're falling into this trap. Now, I'm going to guess that burning out and sacrificing your family and your health and relationships was not the idea of success that you had. But just notice how you might be driving yourself towards that point when you believe that hustle and grind is the way to get there. So here's what I want to leave you with. If you want to understand how to align yourself and your business better, I want you to start learning more about your blueprint. Now, I'll leave the link for you here so that you can get started on this journey by taking a DISC assessment. Now, your blueprint is critical, right? It is one of the most important pieces to your success, and it involves you getting to know yourself better. And that includes both mindset and skill set. So, if you're interested in more, I want you to read through the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Bye for now.